everyone. I know it's been a really long time and a lot has happened, but I'm looking forward to doing a reading today because the astrology is really exciting. We have entered the year of the fire horse, and it's a lot to do with the heart and momentum and technology and knowing how to take care of ourselves, to avoid burnout, to regulate the pace of our life, because time as we know it is shifting and it's not linear. I'm going to get into some cards. These are new. They're the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck, and I am obsessed. They're really great. I can't do a lot of shuffling right now because my daughter's sleeping right behind me. See what wants to come through today. Okay, we have Al and Raven, yin and yang. So there's this balancing with the, I think, duality and intensity that's playing out. I want to get clarity on what kind of duality is going on. I already shuffled these cards, so let's just see what wants to come through right now. Okay. The journey. So a lot of Al totem symbolism. There is the connection of the owl being a very shadow work creature, kind of the dark feminine, the divine feminine. It's a energy of inner knowing, of knowing thyself. I don't know if you guys have listened to that podcast, Know Thyself, on Spotify, but they're pretty great, and that's what this reminds me of. So let's do, this is the Sacred Hags Oracle. Okay, we have Hag of the East Garden. And it's about time. So we have the journey, duality, and time. I think this is a big message and theme about slowing down. Some of you have been going really hard and you need to chill out, because just because we're in the year of the fire horse doesn't mean that going full force, sometimes it can be not fruitful. Sometimes rest is fruitful, is what I'm getting from these cards. I just want a little bit more here. I feel like it's like a very general message right now. Tell me more about this. Bagalamukhi, she is basically about watching what you say. So what's the narrative that you're speaking to yourself? Are you telling yourself that you don't have enough time? This has come up in another message that I've done. So I feel like whoever watches my videos probably is just needing to hear this again, but I guess even as a good example, that's kind of meta, is just like, I felt weird coming on today because it's been so long since I've made a video, but then again, it's like time isn't linear. So it's okay that it's been a while, and it's okay for you to take your time, and also just not speaking negatively or putting curses on yourself, thinking that you're off of your timeline. But I also feel like this card is relating to, like, there's people who have been trying to put like word curses on you, and you're transmuting them because you're very conscious of what you say, and you're also canceling the word curses that have been coming at you from other people. I feel like there's been some protection with the owl. It's a very protective totem. You're somebody who's integrated. You don't gaslight or spiritually bypass. You say things as they are. You're an authentic truth speaker, and you speak truth to power. And because of that, people have targeted you and tried to put that negativity that they've created back on you and say that you're the problem. for speaking out about the imbalances and injustice, but it's actually on them for being out of integrity. So when you call truth to power and you're saying, I'm seeing this is dysfunctional, you're not the one who's in the wrong for speaking truth. Okay. Let me pull a card from Jungian Tarot. I don't like this deck at all, but that's all I have right now. So we have Ace of Wands, and here we have the Caduceus. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is like a Kundalini kind of pattern. Okay, Ace of Wands. Let's pull some more. Again, really vague. Fire energy, more fire energy. We have Five of Pentacles. Normally a card associated with like poverty, scarcity. So some people are putting curses on themselves, speaking poverty and scarcity onto themselves. I don't think it's you, listener, watcher, person. I think it's people around you. And maybe they're upset because you don't do the same. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to count them. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, like someone's been siphoning your resources a little bit. I'm not getting good vibes from this. Let me pull an animal card. This is interesting. Ladybug. I have no idea what that means. What does the ladybug mean? I feel like ladybug is probably abundant. Fire. Okay, tons of fire energy happening right now. So we have Saturn in Aries. We have, was it Neptune in Aries? Crazy stuff. This hasn't happened. This astrology hasn't happened since like 6,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. Okay, good luck, past lives, spiritual enlightenment, death, and rebirth. It heralds a time of luck when the seeds that you have planted will start to unfurl and you will see the results of your hard work. Sometimes this good luck comes after a time of darkness. Know that this happened for a reason. And going forward, joy and happiness will start to push out. So yeah, it's like you're going into this new beginning and you're taking your time with it because you've realized it's about the journey. And because of that, it's been difficult for dark energies to usurp you because you've been so plugged into source and just so on your path to manifesting your highest reality. And it seems like you're really blessed by this astrology. It's bringing in like a vitality and some financial abundance. But I do want to pull more cards on this. What am I pulling right now? Let's pull another Shaman Oracle. Okay, we have Earth. So like very literal, like planting seeds, gardening, natural resources. There is a philosophy for abundance that is like the abundance theory, where you just believe that there's enough to go around, and then there is. I think something like that would probably work for you. I think you're in that vibration now that you can call that in. And you're aware that everything's happened for a reason and that all the delays were happening for a reason. It's like you're moving from you're moving from fire energy into earth energy. And it's creating this it's creating peace for your spirit, your soul, because you're able to reconcile that you're gonna get what you want and you're gonna go where you need to go, but divine timing is often slower than our timing, and that's for a purpose. It's not to just torture us. And so I think you learned that the hard way, and then you're being heralded like a new beginning with these cards. Okay, hexagon. I don't know what the hexagon is. Let me pull out my book. Sorry guys, I'm a little rusty. It's been a while and I am sleep deprived. Okay, 43, beauty and perfection. The six-sided geometry of the hexagon speaks of structure, function, order. We find it in the beauty of crystals, the perfection of snowflakes, and the symmetry of beehives. Beauty surrounds you. Walk in the woods, grounding yourself. Listen to the birds, smell the forest. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's like you've come to realize it's kind of complementary to the fire horse you're coming in, because suddenly the world's on fire with this momentum and you're actually slowing down for the first time is what I'm getting from this message. So it was like you realize that just going with this fire energy isn't, sometimes it's not getting you where you want to be, and that actually grounding into the earth and enjoying the journey and being in a more receptive, magnetic, feminine, follicular energy is what's going to call in your abundance. That's your fresh start. Before, when you were pushing, it was from a place of wounding. It was from a place of duality. I'm going to pull another hag card. Yeah, wow. So it's a lot of new beginnings for you. Seasons of tender roots. This card could herald maybe the birth of a child. Maybe some of you are expecting. Maybe you're just in this softness with yourself because you've been rebirthed. Maybe it's a humble project that you're tending to with a lot of ease and grace and flow right now. It seems like you're really just enjoying what it is to be alive and in the present moment. And yeah, so calm within. It's like you've realized that you don't have to push forward and be in a masculine fighting state, because so this is the message. It's you were exerting, but it was coming from a wounded place. It wasn't coming from an embodied place. So it's fine if you want to be in your masculine and exert with a lot of fire, but it was actually working against you before. And what you're realizing now is that you can call in everything you need just by enjoying what you have, by being grateful, by slowing down. You don't have to do all the time. And that's a huge learning curve for people who have been in a survival state where the only thing that they could do to feel in control during that time is to like push. And so it's kind of interesting that with this like fire energy and then Aquarius energy, it's like so easy to get caught up in all this like frenzy around you, but now you have this total inner anchor from within. And it's like the cycles of suffering that you've created for yourself from that fear place of control and exerting is like coming to an end. And I want to pull from soul cards to see if there's a beautiful illustration that wants to add to this message. They're not given a definition, but I feel like we could go into this intuitive place now. This one was already flipped over, and then this one came out. Yeah, so I feel like higher self, just a lot of new inspiration and communion with the divine. It's like this person is looking up and there's this reverence and some crown chakra activations happening here. I got this Mayan calendar from 13 Moons, and it's a local creator who makes them, and it's all about deconstructing our relationship to time. So now I get to be in this cyclical nature to time, which is a lot what the spiral is. So that is part of why you can relax now, is because you've unlocked the secret. You've cracked the code because you've discovered that you're not a victim to time, that time is working for you. A lot of twin flame unions are beyond time. So if you're rushing into a union, that's not your twin flame union. I learned that the hard way. I thought I was in a twin flame union. The rushing was actually from the soul of my daughter. I found out through hypnosis. I'll have to talk about that in my podcast sometime. I'll leave the links below for my podcast and for my website that I have up now. So yeah, invitation. Powerful, powerful card. It's just inviting you. There's this sweet communion and reverence and sanctity. I'm like losing where my cards went. So it's like you've like broken through this glass ceiling of struggle. Okay. Let me see what invitation says, and I'll probably close here before my daughter wakes up. Sorry, it's such a general message. I want to get some of those like scandalous cards so I can do more shadow work readings and things like that, because I think it would be really fun. So yeah, other dimensions. Light workers everywhere are exploring and adventuring into the realms of energy, light, and vibration, appearing as grids or matrices of light. Geometric vibrational fields connect everything in existence, from the infinitesimal to the infinite. Everything vibrates to divine order. Even chaos theory makes sense when seen as part of the oneness of spirit. This card represents a doorway, a portal, or stargate. So it's a portal, which the Aquarian solar eclipse was a portal. And then we're going to have another, it's going to be part 3, lunar eclipse in Virgo, March 3rd. So whatever you were going through back in, I think it was like October or November, there's going to be like a part 3 to that. So try to think back to what you were doing the last Virgo lunar eclipse. Mine was saying goodbye to kind of an addiction that I had forever. And so for this part 3, I don't know what's going to come about because I've closed that completely. But I think it's going to be more of like an addiction to maybe just being attracted to people who aren't good for me is like what's coming through right now. Because Virgo she's in my Black Moon Lilith, and I could get more into that next reading. I would like to do more like Lilith readings. So leave a comment if you think that's something you're interested in. I'm getting deep into astrology. So I'll be referencing a lot of astrology moving forward. But basically, this card is a deep connection with spirit. So it's like you're right on time. And most people, I think, watch card readings because they're worried that maybe something's wrong and they need more information. But you're right on time. and you've entered the portal, you're tapping into source in a way you haven't before, and you're showing up with radical faith and trust like never before, and it's rewarding you with a peace that you haven't had before. So congratulations, blessings, and I will make no promises about when I will post again.